Yeah, well.
So, ladies and gentlemen, fight number 2 this evening will be contested under C-class rules in the heavyweight division over 3 3-minute rounds. And introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 124.4 kilos and trains out of Gamebred Academy.
Big boy.
Tonight, he makes his MMA debut. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kori Hepi tehuia. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he weighed in at 104.2 kilos and trains out of Gamebred Academy, holding an amateur MMA record of 1 win and 1 loss. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Cain the Wolf Unmaki.
Okay, so in Kori's corner, we've got UFC vet Ben the Man on the Wall, and we've got Ryan Dunstan. He's the head coach of this Wimp program.
Also be deducted
and Kane's told us
per
before
round
the fight, John,
as a result of the weight difference between our 2 combatants here this evening. And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Steve Robinson.
So is that what 1 point's deducted?
Okay, well that will make a pretty big difference. Basically, Kori really needs to get a finish.
Get a
we
finish
see
here.
Cain opening up pretty interestingly, and Kane's told us before this fight that he wants to be on his bike in this fight, moving around, using his movement, not standing in front of the big fella.
Yep, so obviously with the 20 kilo weight difference, that being the reason for the point deductions, and already you can see the big power of the fighter in the blue corner there, Kori Heps, just letting those hands go.
Ferocious. I think the plan here is just to hold him there, hold him off, and see if he can weather that early storm. Take the wind out of his sails.
And one thing I will say about Cain is he's very game. You know, like this bad position early in the fight won't fluster him. So he looks like to be in a bit of trouble here. He could be in trouble with a bit of an arm lock though.
Yeah, looks like an Americana on the far side here from Kori Hepi tehuia.
He needs to unlock his legs and then he'll be able to move. He's locking himself in there with that half guard.
Yeah, and Cain could use his, like you said, he could insert a butterfly hook and get some elevation on Kori and sort of take a bit of that pressure off the arm.
Ref, don't stop it. Get out of it. He can tap. He's a big boy. Use your hip. He's good. He's giving a thumbs up. I'm not sure what's happened here.
What's going on here?
Okay, restart. Let's go. We get to see more action.
That was a
bit of urgency here from Cain.
Yeah, slightly controversial stand up there. Perhaps we'll move on, fellas.
Yeah.
And Kori Hepi tehuia straight back into the clinch here, letting go of some big shots.
Some dirty boxing.
Oh!
Yeah. Kori's coach, Dunstan, he's told me that he doesn't think this will get out of that first round. So it nearly didn't. So we'll see. See what happens.
This is a big athletic guy throwing everything he has into here. So, I mean, it'd be interesting in this position to see Kori break away. He's having some success with the striking, so he's sort of shutting himself down here in this clinch.
So with the 20 kilo weight difference too, it'll be interesting to see how Kori's cardio holds up in comparison to Cain.
And Cain has a nice body lock here. And Simon in his corner, Simon Clow, is calling him to get a takedown. And there we go. Oh, but Kori manages to switch position and get on top.
Back on the bottom, he's got the underhook, he's got his half guard. He needs to protect that arm for the Americana again. I don't think he's going to get another get out of jail free card. The thing is with those Americanas, you get some guys that just will not tap, and that's the way their shoulder's designed.
Yep.
You know, you got to switch to something else. That's the beauty of the sport. Everyone's different. The human body's different flexibilities.
So round 1 drawing to a close here with Kori Hepi tehuia in half guard, looking to maybe pass to either side control or mount, but the clock runs out.
Yes.
And congratulations to Ben, getting a win last week. Rear naked choke in the first round. So
yeah, on Eternal 39.
So referee Steve Robinson taking us through the formalities here, removing another point for Kori Hepi tehuia.
Yeah. Kori's breathing pretty heavy coming into this second round. Cain looks relaxed, so we could see a bit of a change in tides here potentially, but Cain's still got to weather quite a storm here. We see Cain's got his head in a far less than ideal position here against the cage.
Yeah, Simon Clough in his corner screaming to try and get that head, in proper head position, get it underneath the chin of Kori.
Yeah, we just spoke about Ryan being such a great corner man. Another guy that's had a huge amount to do with my career, and I dare say is one of the another great kept secret in Australian MMA is Simon Clough over there in the game bred corner. So Cain's definitely getting some good advice himself.
He's got the double unders. Kori's managed to turn him. So going for that outside trip. It's this kind of time where this is where the 20 kilos starts to come in, just putting that weight on him. That's what's going to zap it out of Cain. Just that 20 kilos resting on him, holding the weight up against the cage.
And it's these positions where Cain has to be using, technique and basically hip escaping off the cage. They're sliding out and making Kori's weight work against him. At the moment, Kori's doing a good job of using that weight against Cain, so we've got to see a bit of a shift in that if Cain's going to be successful here. He's got the double underhooks again. Cain's getting those double unders, but essentially just pulls Kori into mount there, which is
probably one of the safest spots in the cage right now.
Yeah, I think he was hoping to try and turn the corner a little bit more with that body lock, but unfortunately ended up in a less than ideal position. So we'll see if maybe Kori can come at us again with another submission attempt. Of course, we saw the Americana attempt in round 1. Maybe he might look to try and lock up an arm here.
Yeah, and we see in C-class MMA, mount, which is traditionally a great position to have in an MMA fight, isn't actually that useful because you don't have the strikes to the head that can force an opponent to turn over. So
setting up that Americana again,
and this is
time
a point
from the mount, so he could finish it a lot easier from here.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is a point where Cain has to kind of explode and get out before the arm lock gets too deep.
Yeah, it looks like the threat of the Americana there making Cain roll to his side a little bit. So now he's got the far side armbar as an option, does Kori.
And here goes Kori, about to transition to the armbar.
Almost textbook, straight from the kids' class, this one.
But here we go. Cain is rolling
beautiful
out of it,
hitchhiker escape.
Doing a great job of escaping that armbar, and he's going to try and come round to the back. He's basically got to move right now to get round to the back of Kori, and now he could have the advantage if he can get on top.
And up onto his knees here as he looks like he will survive the round with the 10-second clapper going off.
Both fighters looking fatigued. This is good. Nice little bit of jiu-jitsu from the big boys. Yeah. Almost a textbook setup for that armbar. Kids class set up that armbar from when it gets to the ground, he gets on top. Okay, I'd like to see him on top.
Yeah. I agree there, Joel. I think the best way here for Cain to try and take this final round will be for him to get on top. It's a scary prospect standing up with big Kori.
Yeah, and I think coming into this third round, Kori is looking a little fatigued. We see him breathing heavily here. If Cain could get the fight to the ground and use his mobility on top and potentially get to the back or get to a good position, he could get a finish.
Straight in for the clinch.
We see the old sneaky hand touch to entry.
Don't often see that one. It's usually a leg kick or a straight right, but I think that might be the first time I've ever seen it straight into a takedown entry.
Fake touch to a double.
Going to put that one in my personal toolbox, I think.
All right, so the boys killing a bit of time here up against the fence. Cardio may play a factor here in this third and final round.
The takedown's there for Cain. His legs are together. If he can lock his hands together, he should be able to take Kori's base out from underneath him and get him to the ground. So the feet are very close together.
Yeah, I agree. I think that'd be a good move for Cain to hit right now. We don't know how fatigued Cain is, but Kori's definitely slowed down this round. That's one of the disadvantages coming in this big and muscular. There's a lot of muscle there that requires oxygen. So, we often see these guys get a little, tired a little quicker than the smaller guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of blood to pump around.
So not a whole lot of action so far in the opening stanza of round 3. Interested to see what Cain looks to do here, because remember, with the point deductions, if Cain can just win this final round, he will win the decision.
That's exactly right. The blood coming from the nose.
Yeah, and this is really do or die. Cain needs to be sort of using that mobility to get off the cage and not really allow Kori to use his weight to just simply pin him to the cage.
Thought about a guillotine there momentarily, did Cain the Wolf.
I reckon we split them up and get the action going.
Yeah, I agree. It's always good to see the big boys throwing some hands. But here's Kori looking for another takedown. He's on the single. Will he get it? Cain's showing some balance. He's looking for a guillotine. And Kori defends well. Cain really needs to move off the cage here. He can't back up. He can't stand against the cage like he is right now.
Win, lose or draw, though, I tell you what, Cain has a lot of guts stepping up and taking on a man 20 kilos heavier than him.
Absolutely, on short notice, no less. So, that's definitely...
props to both fighters.
Yeah, props to both guys.
Ten seconds left here. See if we can finish with a flurry.
Is Cain looking for that takedown that he did before? And time.
And then, ladies and gentlemen, fight number 2 goes the distance. And after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score the bout for your winner by unanimous decision. In the red corner, Cain, the Wolf Unmaki.
So Cain gets the win. Weight played a factor there. Good fight. I was entertained. The badge looked entertained.
Yeah, I was definitely entertained, and like I was saying before, with things like that, with the weight difference and the point deductions,